So I want to welcome everybody to How to Transform Your Life call tonight, How to Transform Your Lives. And tonight I've got a special guest with us, and she is a facilitator, has been a facilitator for the last, I'm going to guess, about 5 or 6 years. And we're going to share with you what it's been like and what is the process of sharing the passion test. What is the passion test? I'm going to actually take somebody through and demonstrate someone finding their passions. I think it's really important. I'll just share with you, my name is Cheryl. I'm a senior master trainer for the passion test. And 8 years ago, I actually listened to a call similar to the one that we're doing tonight. And I'm just so glad all of you have chosen to, that this is the perfect time in your life to transform, to change, that you're looking for something. And I'm going to tell you that your passions are your clues to your purpose for being here. And over the last 8 years, I have found that to be so true, and it came into my life in a time where I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I want to share that story with you about kind of where I found myself and what this call is about. And so I found myself in a job. I had been in the investment business for 18 years. I had built a career to which everyone around me, family, friends, would all say that it was true success. And that in that success that I had all the things that we think are important in this world. You know, the corner office, the title. I ran a 10-state territory. And I raised about $168 million in 2 years. So everybody in the world would have said that was successful. And yet I found myself one day walking through my office door and wondering, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? Because I wasn't very happy, and I really wondered if I could ever know joy and happiness in my career again. And just like you, I found an email that came to my inbox one day, and it talked about how to find your passion and the importance of what that would do. And I had no idea when I clicked on that link and signed up for the call that that was a defining moment in my life. I would call it a divine moment in my life, where when I went to that call, I learned that there's a process to help people gain clarity. And if I have to say anything, the passion test is about gaining clarity about the things that matter most to you, about the things that you're meant to do here. I hope that most of you will agree that you're here for a purpose, a reason. And the reason that you're here, the things that will lead you to finding that. Most of us are either confused, don't know what we're here for, don't know what we're passionate about, have forgotten what it is that we love. And that's really where I was. And I found myself at 41 years old wondering what I was going to do for the rest of my life. I didn't feel like I could start over. I didn't feel like I could begin a career. And so as I sat down and listened to that first call, the passion test, and hearing somebody take them through, I thought, this is exactly what I need. I need to find out what it is that I love. Chris and Janet, authors of the Passion Test book, were actually hosting that call that night, and at the end of that call, they invited all the participants to join them in a Choose Your Destiny weekend. And I got to tell you, I learned one thing from that call, and it was, you know, when the opportunity presents itself, my job is to say yes. And I couldn't get off that call fast enough, and I signed up for that weekend. And little did I know that that weekend would change my life. Because in that weekend, I found that my passion was to inspire, one of my top passions, was to inspire many others to find their own greatness and empower them to live it. And quite honestly, we talk about the passion test helping you to get the clarity on the what. Thank God, because I had no idea how that was going to happen. I was relieved to know that I didn't have to know the how. That the how would begin to show up as I began to get clear on the things that were most important to me. And you know, I just trusted the process. And here I am 8 years later. I'm a senior master trainer for the passion test. I left my full-time job in October of 2007. And I have literally watched hundreds and thousands of people be transformed through this process. and I'm a part of the leadership team here at the Passion Test, and I'm so grateful to be with all of you, because the one thing that I love is to share the things that I have found to be most helpful in my own life, and hope that that will guide and direct and inspire other people to take action in their own lives. Because we're all here for a reason. We're all here for a purpose. And so tonight, as I said, I'm going to take somebody through the process of identifying a couple of their top passions, so you can get a sense of what the process is all about. And we're also going to hear from a facilitator who's been around for a while, who's had the opportunity to experience some of the things that I want to share with you. We talked about in our email about transforming lives. And while the Passion Test is a great tool for many coaches, speakers, trainers to help people to get clear, magic begins to happen, and miracles begin to happen when we open up to what's possible. One of our unique contributions to the Passion Test is inspiring transformation through love. And what I have witnessed over the last 8 years is that amazing things begin to happen through this really simple yet profound process. So another little fact is that back in 2006, when there was offered a beta program, which was our pre-certification program, to Chris and Janet were going to teach us how to be them. We had the opportunity to learn how to speak on a stage, create a business. We called it Business in a Box. And I was going to get to learn how to be them. And I got to tell you, I couldn't have been more excited, because that was one of my yeses to my path to inspiring many others to find their own greatness. And so all I did is, one decision at a time, is to say yes to that. So tonight I'm going to give you a tool that will help you to begin to make decisions in favor of the things that you love. And you can implement it in 90 seconds a day. Cool? I know that we're all busy, and I like things that only take 90 seconds. So I just want to introduce, and so that you know who she is. I've got an amazing facilitator. She came to us in San Francisco. I'm going to guess the year was about 2009 or 2010. And she came. She was a very successful businesswoman at the time, and was really looking for something different. And she came at a real transition time in her life and wanted to share this process with others, and has continued to do so. So Cece, welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on the call.
Yeah. Why don't you just share with everybody, just take a minute to just share with people, a little bit about you. Just about you.
Okay. Well, I am I'm a Passion Test facilitator. Like Cheryl, I had a career before this. My husband and I have a dental office. And I don't know if any of you in different practices other than ours just love going to the dentist. But a lot of people that come into our practice come in and say, I'd rather be anyplace else. And so over the years, it was something that I just wanted something different. And at the time that I found out about the Passion Test, I honestly found out about it by just surfing the web, because I was taking some coaching classes. I wanted something different, and I had 3 criteria. I wanted it to be something that people want to do. It'd be different than dentistry. I wanted it to be something where it would change people's lives for the positive. And I wanted it to be something that I could do from anywhere in the world, because I love to travel. So I went, and when I was doing my coaching class, one of the last things we had to do was just write a paper. And so I wrote my paper on how does passion impact your success? Because I was very successful in dentistry, but I was losing my passion for it. And in doing my research, ran across the Passion Test. So I'm going to share with you later one of these big things that happened because of the Passion Test. But I did the Passion Test, and in 1 week, something that had been tripping up my life for 31 years was gone. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, if that could do that for me and do it that quickly, it was something that I wanted to learn how to do, and help other people.
Thank you, Cece.
You're welcome.
Great, great. So, as you're considering, excuse me, as you're considering whether or not this training is right for you, whether you want to join our what we call our Passion Test family, I think that I always say there's two reasons that you would want to join us for this training or apply for this training. One is that you want to go deeper with your own passions, for your own personal growth, to learn what it means to live on purpose, to what it means to wake up every day with passion, to kind of really have clarity about your own personal path. I can tell you that since I made the decision to not only discover my passions, but to follow my passions, that it has become a habit. And that's really what this is about creating a habit of choosing in favor of the things that you love. And I think all of us on the call would agree that my worst day today doesn't compare to my best day in my former life. And I really make that distinguishing moment of when I realized that there was something more, and that I live in a place of ease and flow because I am in that place. Doesn't mean I don't have hard times, doesn't mean that I don't still have some challenges. But we've thought about it all. We talk about the challenges and what do we do to support ourselves in living our passions. And we're a community of over 1,500 facilitators today. I think I mentioned earlier that I was one of the beta testers in this program. I was one of the first 4 facilitators that were actually certified. And now we have a group of 1,500 in over 50 countries. And so I'm very excited about that. So tonight, one of our volunteers who's going to allow me to take him through the passion test is named Marco. Marco is living in Mexico City. He's on the line with us tonight. And Marco got trained. I know he got trained in San Diego. I'm going to guess in March of 2000. I'm going to say 11. No, 10, 11, 12. Anyway, Marco, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here, Cheryl. Hi, everyone.
What year was that you got trained?
It was 2013.
Oh, really?
No, really. No, 2012.
2012, great. So I knew it was one of those years. You know, it starts to all blend together after you've been doing this for a while. I've taught it more than I think 40 trainings now. So I usually get the city right. I'm just not quite sure with the year. So, Marco, thank you for agreeing to be on the call tonight with us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like what we're going to teach you all to do to certify you to be able to not only take someone through this process, but to do it in a really efficient, professional manner, and to make money doing it, to be able to charge and use these principles in your own business, or not. We're just sharing it with other people. So, Marco, are you ready?
Super ready.
Super ready, great. So I know that I take the passion test at least every year, sometimes twice a year, depending on what's going on in my life, at a minimum. And I know that, I don't know, Marco, if it's time for you to look at this again, but I know a lot of changes have been going on in your life. Before we joined this call, we saw his son, Sebastian, who I think is about two and a half now, 2?
Almost 2, yeah.
Almost 2. And so what I asked Marco to do is to send me a list of his 10 passions. And so he sent me a list, and there was a very specific way that we asked to write them. Clear, concise, stated in the positive. So thank you for doing that, Marco. So I'm just going to read your list of passions really quick, and then I'm going to demonstrate how do we identify our top 5, and why do we choose 5. Scientists and studies have shown that our mind can only focus on 5 to 7 things at any time. Otherwise, we lose that clarity. And so, Marco, your list is number 1, having fun, spending time with my family, having an impact in other people's lives, enjoying the freedom to create my life, speaking in front of large audiences, being recognized for my work and contribution, being part of the Transformational Leadership Council, eating right, running and working out every day, meditating every day. Great. Thank you for that list. Now, if you notice, that's a pretty clear list. All right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him a series of questions, and I'm going to go through that fairly quickly to identify what is his number one passion right now. And one of the things that I want to share is that his number one passion right now is just in this moment. You know, I think for some of us who've done the passion test over and over again, we get pretty clear, and they tend to stay the same. So I can promise you, Marco, you'll be more clear than when we started. Agreed?
Agree.
Yes. All right. So Marco, here's the first question. Which is more important, having fun or spending time with your family?
Spending time with my family.
Good. Which is more important, spending time with your family or having an impact in other people's lives?
Spending time with my family.
Which is more important, spending time with your family or enjoying the freedom to create your life?
Enjoying the freedom to create my life.
Which is more important, enjoying the freedom to create your life or speaking in front of large audiences?
Enjoying the freedom.
Which is more important, enjoying the freedom to create your life or being recognized for your work and contribution?
Enjoying the freedom.
Which is more important, enjoying the freedom to create your life or being part of the Transformational Leadership Council?
Enjoying the freedom.
Which is more important, enjoying the freedom to create your life or eating right?
Enjoying the freedom.
Which is more important, enjoying the freedom or running and working out every day?
Enjoying the freedom.
Which is more important, enjoying the freedom or meditating every day? So I noticed that you hesitated. So we have a second question, and we're very specific about the questions we ask. So, and it's specifically worded. So Marco, if you could enjoy the freedom to create your life, but never meditate every day, or you could meditate every day, but never enjoy the freedom to create your life, which matters more?
Enjoying the freedom to create my life.
So notice that that gave him a little more clarity about what matters most to him. So that's his number one passion, enjoying the freedom to create my life. So we take that out of the mix and we're left with 9. So I'm going to go through this process again. And so Marco, hesitate for me a couple of times so that I can demonstrate that there's 3 levels to help people get absolutely clear if they get stuck. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. So his number one passion is enjoying the freedom to create his life. All right. So which is more important, having fun or spending time with your family?
Having fun.
Which is more important, having fun or having an impact in other people's lives? So I noticed you hesitated. So I'm going to ask you a second question, level 2. Marco, if you could have fun, but you could never have an impact in other people's lives, or you could have an impact in other people's lives, but never have fun, which matters more? So I notice you're hesitating again. Good job. So I'm going to ask you to go a little deeper. So Marco, if you're comfortable, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine having fun. You are living that passion at a 10 full out. Couldn't be any better. But nowhere in that picture are you having an impact in other people's lives. I want you to notice how that feels. Okay? Now I'd like you to set that picture aside. And now I'd like you to imagine having an impact in other people's lives. You're living that passion at a 10, full out. But nowhere in that picture are you having fun. And notice how that feels. Which feels better?
Having fun.
Having fun. Okay. So notice we went to the 3rd level and it helped him to get to a place of feeling that actual experience. So which is more important? I go back to the first question. Which is more important, having fun or enjoying the freedom to create your life?
That was number 1.
Sorry, that was your number 1. Sorry, I didn't write that down. So which is more important, having fun or speaking in front of large audiences?
Having fun.
Which is more important, having fun or being recognized for your work and contribution?
Having fun.
Which is more important, having fun or being part of the Transformational Leadership Council?
Having fun.
Which is more important, having fun or eating right?
Having fun.
Which is more important, having fun or running and working out every day?
having fun.
That would be mine too. Which is more important, having fun or meditating every day? Okay, I noticed that you hesitated. So let me ask you the second question. You could have fun and never meditate every day, or you could meditate every day and never have fun. Which matters more?
Having fun.
Having fun. Great. So having fun is your number 2 passion. So Marco, I'm going to actually, I think I'm going to stop there. And and normally what we would do, because I just wanted to demonstrate what that process looks like. So his number 1 passion is enjoying the freedom to create his life. His number 2 passion is having fun. And then we would do this process 3 more times to identify his top 5. Now, so Marco, thank you. Thank you for being a participant. And if you want to complete that process, I'm happy to do it after the call. Is that okay?
That's awesome.
Happy to take you through the rest of the process. So what we've demonstrated is just to help people get clear. The passion test is to help people get clear. A lot of our coaches, speakers, trainers tell us that it's really a key, essential ingredient in helping their clients to decide what's most important to them in moving forward. And so the Passion Test book, created the Passion Test by Chris and Janet Atwood, is just a simple process to help you do that, except it's extremely profound. And there is additional pieces to the process. This is just the first step. So I'm going to kind of explain to you, the first step is getting clear on what it is that's important to us. And we walk away with our top 5 passions. Okay? And then what? Then what do we do? So we actually, we talk about the secret. Okay? And we talk about, we begin to put our passions on cards, our top 5 passions, to remind us what are the things that are most important in our lives. Most of us up to this point have not created habits of choosing the things that matter most to us. We've done things maybe that other people wanted us to do, our spouses, our children, our parents, and for many other reasons. A lot of people make decisions based on money. It's very common. And I think that I experienced that in my own personal life. I know that most of us have. And so that beginning to shift the way that you live your life, by choosing in favor of the things that matter to you, a couple things you'll begin to notice. One is when you put up these cards every day, I say you can implement it in 90 seconds a day by just reading your card and becoming aware of the things that matter most to you. And then I'll share with you the secret to guaranteeing a passionate life and the process that we use in order to create a decision-making tool for yourself. And that is, whenever you're faced with a choice, a decision, or an opportunity, to choose in favor of your passions. So we encourage people to take their passions, put them all around their house, at work, in their car, lots of different places, so you're continually looking at your list, so that we say that, and I always laugh about mothers, that they have tons of choices to make, but business people have tons of choices to make. We all have many choices during the day to make and in favor of our passions. And so it's about creating a new habit. And I'll tell you, after doing this for 8 years, and to the scrutiny of many other people, that when I left my 6-figure income job, they wondered what I was doing. And yet it has become impossible at this point in my life not to live my passion. It's actually uncomfortable when I choose in favor of something that is not meaningful to me. And that just simply happened by creating a new habit of choosing in favor of my passion. And I share my own personal experience to show you what's possible for you. Because I was you 8 years ago, sitting in that seat, listening to that teleconference, and hoping and dreaming that this is an answer that could lead me to something that I was going to do for the rest of my life. Now, I don't know today what I'll be doing for the rest of my life, but I do know that I continue to choose in favor of my passion, and here's the greatest news. The people, places, and things begin to show up to support you in living your passion. The people, places, and things begin to show up to support you in living your passion. It's absolutely been my example, not my example, but my reality in just believing that. So I also want to share with you the 3 keys to creating whatever you want in your life. The 3 keys to manifesting what you want. And we call it the passion formula. So the passion formula, the first one is intention. Okay, intention. So with Marco's example, Marco's #1 passion, we'll say it's for his intention, is to enjoy the freedom to create his life. Okay, that's his intention. So once you have identified your top 5 passions, those are that easily fit into your intentions. What is it that you want to create in your life? So intention, consciously stating what we want to create for ourselves. And some of you may be sitting there and you have no idea what that is. And that's good, because this is a place to start. And this process will help you to get clear. So the second key is attention. Attention, intention, attention, attention. This is the action step, okay? This is where we take everything we know to create our intention, okay? We do everything we know. Marco is going to think about what are the things he can do to enjoy the freedom to create his life. Now, I know Marco, a little bit anyway, and I know that he has some freedom in his life. And he's created an incredible business. And Marco, in a minute, I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about that, of where you were when you first came to the Passion Test and where you are today, just in the things that you've created. He is actually an international speaker. He was just asked to go and speak at an event, but I know he does that frequently now. Marco, will you share just some of the things that have happened over since you've taken the Passion Test and become a facilitator? What are a couple of the things that have happened for you in your own life? Particularly, what I'm impressed by is one of the things about how you have built your followers on Facebook. So can you share that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So back in 2012, when I decided to go to certification and become a Passion Test facilitator, I had my own business. I had a digital marketing agency, and I was doing well. I was successful, but I knew that something was missing. So after taking the test, I found out that one of my passions was having an impact in other people's lives. So I came back to Mexico, and I just sold my part of the business, and within probably 2 or 3 months, I started a new business, a new website focused on helping people find their passions and then do something with those passions. And now I have probably close to 70,000 people on Facebook, almost 10,000 followers on Twitter, and like 110,000 videos played on my YouTube channel. And this is just amazing, deciding in favor of what's important to you, of your passions. Just I like the word magic, because it really seems like something magical happened, but it's just living aligned with what's really important to you.
I love that. And has that created a lot of freedom in your life?
Yeah, definitely.
It sounds pretty awesome. And I know this, and it's great to know that a couple of years ago you had, a year ago you had 2,000 on Facebook, right? 2,000, yeah. And now you have 7,000.
Yeah.
So this works. So Marco, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Those are some of the actions that Marco took. Okay, so intention, attention. He went home, he sold his business, he decided to create something that really supported people to make a difference, to impact lives. And he used the Passion Test as a process to do that, and it has turned out to be an amazing, he's on his way. So the next thing is probably my favorite piece of the puzzle, which is the intention, attention, no tension piece. No tension. We don't do this often enough in our lives. At least I hadn't up until this point. And it comes to the point where you have taken every action you know. You have put all of your attention, your positive attention. What we put our attention on grows stronger in our life. So putting all of your positive attention on helping to create that intention. Then there's the part that is the third step, which is no tension. So intention, attention, no tension. And the no tension part is knowing when to let go. Knowing when to let go. And that does not mean that you give up. It just means that you surrender and you allow You kind of let go, let God. Let go, let the universe support you. When I said earlier that the people, places, and things will begin to show up to support you, the most amazing things will happen, and you will have no idea how they have come to be, how they were directed. It's beyond really our realm of thinking. So what Marco said about the magic piece is that it's more vast than we can imagine in our minds. It's more, there are more possibilities than we could even imagine. This is really what I wanted to say. So as we look at these three keys, I'm going to share a story about intention, attention, no tension, to demonstrate the principle of what that meant. Some of you are wondering, how did I leave a job where I was being paid $250,000 a year to do this full time? Shortly after I became one of their first facilitators at the beginning of 2007, I was asked to speak on a stage of 500 people. Now, I could have never orchestrated that, and it just happened. I was working in the financial industry, and I was asked to go speak to the state of New Mexico Judicial Department. And Chris and Janet got wind of that, and shortly after that they called me and said, we need a master trainer. We've decided that we can't do this alone, and we're going to need help if we're going to train facilitators all around the world. So we don't know what that looks like, but I'll never forget, it was a call on a Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. And they were actually hosting their second course in Chicago when they had this realization they couldn't do it on their own. And so I went and I actually, when they were talking to me about it, my passion was to inspire many others to find their own greatness. And I asked myself, does this align with what it is I want to do? And the answer was yes. So I took that first leap. And after doing that for about 8 months, I remember having a conversation with Chris saying, when is this going to happen? When am I going to be able to see the plan that I can completely leave my job? That I can walk out and do this on my own. And very short, and literally, Chris said, intention, attention, no tension, right? Practicing the principles of what we teach. And I was a newbie at that time. I was kind of a beginner passion test facilitator, but really believed in the principles. And yet, the next day I went to the airport and I had 2 voicemails, and one of them was a financial planner who asked me to come out to Memphis and speak at 2 events. She would pay my expenses, do 2 workshops, teaching the passion test, and I could keep all of the revenue from the workshop. I thought, oh my gosh. Now, what none of you know is that about 6 months before that, I had stated an intention that I was going to take the passion test and help my financial planners grow their business. I stated a clear intention, but I didn't know how that was going to happen. In that same day, I got another call from another financial planner whom was introduced. I didn't even actually know her personally, who told me they were creating something called the Certified Financial Coaching Program. They invited me to their offices. As I was sitting there, they said, we've created this certification program, and we've created the 11 areas of wealth. One of the areas that they hadn't quite completed yet was how to help people find their passion and purpose. Now, they didn't know at that moment what I did, and all of a sudden the light bulb went on. And I started to see a path and a way that I could leave my full-time job, because if I chose to interact and to commit to working with them, I couldn't in integrity stay with the firm that I was working for. And I found this and I leaped. I leapt. I don't know. Anyway, I said yes. And I dove, I took that challenge and I said, I see how it's happening. And I really believed that it was a sign that this was my time. And I'm going to tell you, even though there are times that it hasn't been easy. In fact, 6 months after that, I realized that the company I chose to work with really didn't have everything working like I thought they did. And but yet I was open to the next step. And here I am 8 years later, and it's all working out. But there's some really, more than the tangible business in a box pieces. I want to share with you or let Cece share with you what's possible when we follow our passions and we share the passion test with other people and the things that can happen in their lives. So Cece, I'm going to ask you, if you would, to share with everyone kind of the experience that you just went through recently with one of the people that you were working with.
Okay. I was talking to Cheryl and I shared this story, so that's why she contacted me today to see if I would share it with you, because what keeps happening to me is I just have amazing results. You know, Marco was kind of talking about the magic. Well, that's what keeps happening with me. I feel like I see the magic from doing this with other people. And one of the things in the training, like if you choose to go through the passion test training, like Cheryl said, you can do it just for yourself, or you can actually do it so you work with other people. But one of the things that we go over in it is a process to help you get rid of blockages. And it's if you have false beliefs, false ideas, or false concepts, we'll teach you a process to get those out of your life so that when you set your intention, you put your attention towards it, that you're more likely to be able to achieve what you want. So I just got done a couple weeks ago with a lady that I did it's called a one-on-one session when you work just with one person, and I just got done with her second session. And when we were going through the part about blockages, she wrote out this paper that she was frustrated with her mom because she felt like she didn't participate in life. So I went through the whole process with her. And in the process, there's a turnaround thing that we talked about. And when we turned it around, well, turning it around to her is, I'm frustrated with myself because I don't participate in life. So I said, is there any place in your life that you can find that this is true? We got to talking about it. She started crying and said, oh my gosh, that's what I do in my life. And here she was so frustrated with her mom, but she did the same thing. And I said, tell me more about that. Well, it ended up that she doesn't participate in things because she feels like she can't hear well. So we talked about, well, have you ever gotten that checked out or anything like that? No, she really hadn't. And but I said, so what in your life have you not participated in? She was even a teacher. I mean, she went through the whole process of even getting her master's in teaching. Starts teaching. She felt like she could not hear the students very well. And so she got out of teaching because she felt like she couldn't participate because she couldn't hear. So the more we talked about it, she decided that there was something to this and that she was going to go get a hearing test. She did. She is deaf in one ear and really doesn't have a whole lot of hearing in the other ear. So she called me back sobbing, saying, oh my gosh, this process is going to change my life because it made me stop and evaluate my life. It made me stop and really think about what was important to me. And in doing that, I had to question things about me. Why wasn't I participating in life? She had no idea that she couldn't hear. But when she really started thinking about it, she thought that it probably went clear back to elementary school. And she just called me last night, actually, and said she just got her hearing aids. And she cannot believe how much happens in life that she's never been a part of. You know, so there's lots of things that are going on in different people's lives that we have no idea and don't know why they're not getting the most out of life that they can. Sometimes they don't have an idea why they're not getting the most out of life. And this process is so great because first it helps you clarify what's most important. And a lot of people don't ever take the time to stop and do that. It helps you, if there's a blockage in your life to where you're having a hard time manifesting this, helps you to get rid of those blockages. And then it teaches you the secret in how to live a passionate life for the rest of your life.
Thank you.
I've had a lot of magic happen with a lot of people.
Great, great. I would second that, Cece, and thank you for sharing what it's like to be a facilitator and watch people's change, watch the impact that you have. I think most of the people that we attract in our community are people who want to give, who also want to learn how to do this and business in a box, to make a living doing this. And that's really kind of my love, my area of expertise, and I kind of feel like I was the first facilitator so that I could be an example for those people to show you how to do it. And I am not short on ideas, and I'm also really willing to share, and we all are really willing to share and help people become successful. I can tell you that we have a lot of support, and I kind of want to go into that. We've decided that one of the things that would help people with making the decision to become certified is to give them a tool to begin to plan their workshops. So you'll walk away with being able to teach a 3-hour workshop, and also to not only to teach a 3-hour workshop, but to also work with people one-on-one, as Cece was just explaining. And you'll also have the tools to begin to support people in the challenges that they have. We actually offer 2 different tools. I want to direct people to a page that we've created to tell you a little bit more about our certification program, what it's like if you're interested in getting more information about the passion test, seeing if it's a fit for you. You know, one of the things that's really important to us is that we have people that are a good fit that benefit from our program. So that's really of interest to us. If you have a desire to serve people, to know more about yourself, to understand what your purpose and passion is in life, to be a part of a community of people who are championing your greatness in every moment. That's really what this is. And I am as excited, I hope that, about Cece's success and Marco's success. You know, for the longest time, I was kind of the only one, and I'm so glad that there are other people who, that was in the first year, that there are other people who have joined the community that are having amazing success, and you know, many that we don't even hear about all the time. So I want to take everyone to the page in a minute, and to take a look at what's all included. Cece, did you have something else you'd like to say while I get this page up and then tell everyone where to go?
Sure. I would share another thought that I have that I always tell people. Is Cheryl was saying this is something that you can do, something that you can do as a business. But what I have found personally is that this is something that fits in absolutely every part of my life. If I never ever did this again as a business, I would have so got my my investment back in people that I've helped, like my son. One of the things that I did with him is he was going to get engaged to a girl that I thought was probably not the best for him, and yet I didn't really want to be the one to point that out because I didn't want that to come back on me later. So I went through the passion test with him, and in doing that, he realized she wasn't the right one for him. And now he is engaged to somebody that I think really is the perfect person for him. Or my daughter, who her and her husband just were not happy in their jobs, and going through the passion test with them and helping them to realize what they really wanted, and ended up that they both left their jobs, they both got new jobs, they're extremely happy now. And yet I really think they would have plodded along for a long time had we not gone through that process. So even if you don't want to do this as a business, I can highly say that I cannot think of anything else that you could do to invest in your family that would be more helpful.
Great. Thank you, Cece. Thanks. So I'm going to take everybody to, if you're in front of your computer, hopefully you are, go to the Passion Test certification page, and I'm going to tell you where to go. Go to www.thepassiontest.com/certification. We take facilitators after you apply. It's actually handled by some of our advanced facilitators, and they will call you. You will fill out the application. We'll review it. We will contact you to talk about whether or not this is a good fit for you, and kind of what is involved. So I kind of want to go through and share with you kind of what it's about and what the weekend looks like. And then I have kind of the special program that Chris and I just started to really support our facilitators in getting a head start of enrolling people in a workshop and beginning to earn your investment back right away. You know, for many people right now, money is a, you know, making an investment is something I always ask myself, how can I make my investment back? I believe that when you are a coach or a trainer or a speaker, that it's crucial to make that commitment to invest in yourself, because free begets free. Free begets free. I'll just share that with you, and it's a universal principle that I believe that investing in yourself to give you a skill that you can get paid for is always, always a good thing. A commitment to you and also a commitment to the people you're working with. So at www.thepassiontest.com/certification, if you pull it up, there's a video that starts with Janet speaking right away. You can go back and look at that video. And it kind of describes, you know, what the Passion Test is all about, and it'll tell you a little bit more about certification. Something that we're really committed to is supporting our facilitators in being successful for those of you who want to create a business and to generate revenue for yourself to be able to do this full-time or even part-time. So we are introducing a special program for all of you on the call. It's a little time sensitive because we had our first call last Saturday. We did a Google Hangout. Chris and I shared some steps about what to do to get started. That enrollment period is still open, but we have a limited number of spots. So if you're interested, I would encourage you to at least fill out an application, and we'll see if it's a good fit for you. It's called our Jumpstart program. I'll talk about it a little bit further down the page. As you scroll down the page, it talks about the Passion Test and their new book called The Hidden Riches, and it kind of goes through like who's it appropriate for. You know, we talked about this a little bit. You know, people who have a desire to help others, people who are at a crossroads in their life, people who need clarity. I was at dinner last night with a new business client of mine, and who I'm going to take through the Passion Test for Business. And so she was the waitress. We asked her a little bit about where she was from. She'd been there 3 years, but she needs to get clear on what are her next steps. And my client said, "Oh, I've got somebody who can help you with that." and so, you know, you can find clients anywhere you go. For any of you who decide to become a certified facilitator, you can hear the story of how I had got a client under anesthesia. Anyway, that's one of the funnier stories. So experiencing, you know, you're at this point in your life where you don't know what you're going to do, you know. So there's many reasons that you want to look, and it's never too late. Okay, it's never too late. We have a couple of our facilitators who have shared their experience of what it means, you know, what it has meant for them to be able to do it. So go through and read through this page as we scroll down. Cece and I both mentioned that this is a business in a box. When I first learned of this program, I was like, oh my gosh, Chris and Janet are going to teach us to be them. I can tell you it's fun. And so for those of you who want to do that. The other thing I said was that a little bit more about the training. If you scroll down about halfway through the page, you'll see Chris and Janet on a stage. You will receive. Certification is it starts with a 4-day live training where we spend 4 days together. And we go through a process of not only identifying and getting clear on what your passions are as a facilitator, teaching you some of the ways to begin to live those principles, giving you some tools for when it becomes difficult. We actually solidify and formulate what it means to be a part of the Passion Test community. No longer do you have to do it all on your own. We offer a ton of support ongoing. In fact, after the course ends, after those 4 days, you're not going to want to leave, but after those 4 days, we do 4 follow-up teleseminars where you're actually out in the community giving the Passion Test one-on-one, and we're coaching you through it. So you're actually having an experience with what it's like to work with people, and then we come back together as a group on a call from your course, and we talk about those experiences. So you're actually getting live actual training as you're going through. And then we give you, of course, a facilitator guide, and also you're a part of a mastermind group with your peers. We have some mastermind groups that have been going on for a long time, for actually years of support and people. Those of you who are coaches, you actually get credits. I think over 41 credits, continuing education credits. The bonus for certification right now is that you are eligible to participate in a monthly call with Janet, a 60-minute call. Every month, she does 12 a year. And then each month we have a facilitator call where we bring on an expert. We share practical tips. How can you get out there and market your business? And we share wins from our facilitators, which have really, it's another part of practical tips of what can you do to get out there. And I can tell you there is no shortage of opportunities, because only 20%, now 30% of working Americans are living their passions, or passionate about what they do. So we still have 70% of an untapped market. And then Janet describes what you get as far as marketing materials and flyers and emails and press releases and all the things that you could imagine, including that, that are ongoing. Like I said, we give you more materials today. And then this is brand new, and like I said, it started last Saturday. It's our Jumpstart program, which is Chris Atwood, I'm one of the co-authors of the Passion Test, and I, going through, helping you set up your first workshop, breaking it down step by step. And we've actually, on this page, if you continue down, given you an example called the Jumpstart program, 5 video lessons. We actually give you an example of what's your goal. So 20 participants at a workshop at $50 each seems pretty doable. I can tell you that it is doable. I think, I've had 65 at a workshop, and I've had 6. So I will share with you what I did to create 65 people at a workshop versus what I did to create 6. And obviously 65 can be a lot more profitable than 6. And so 20 is a reasonable number. And so here are a couple of ways that you can earn back your investment, because we believe that that's really important. And not only earn back your investment, but continue with the freedom that Marco talked about. And because I believe in that as well, the freedom. And so we break it down in 5 lessons of what do you need to do. You don't need to wait to become certified to have your first workshop set up and ready to go. Begin to take money, begin to enroll people that's into your workshops right away, right? At the level that you feel comfortable. And we'll support you in that, because we know that challenges come. So there's no obligation. There is just a world awaiting you. If you came to this call for a reason, I believe there's no accidents. There's no accident that you're here tonight. There's no accident that you're attracted to this in some level. And I really believe that you owe it to yourself. Whatever you think in your mind, or just the thoughts that stop you from going forward. One of the things that I loved about what Cece shared about her client that she was working with, the woman she worked with, that from the time she was in grade school, she had a hearing problem. But whether she was afraid, didn't know to ask, whatever it was, it made her feel different. And you know what? Sometimes I would say that most of us have experienced that feeling of feeling different, feeling alone, feeling like we don't know the next step to take. What is our own greatness? And this is a process that will help you to step into that. Because I'll share with you that each and every one of you are unique. No 2 people in this world are alike. And that it is with your own unique gifts, talents, and skills through the Passion Test process that you will find what it is that you're meant to do. So whether you're thinking you're going to do this as a business and share it with other people, whether you just want to know the own process deeply for yourself, for your own personal growth, I encourage you to apply, to just go in and fill out an application. It takes no more than 10 minutes. It probably takes 5 minutes to fill out the application. And then talk with somebody. Talk with somebody who's experienced, who's done this, who can help you to navigate whether or not this program's right for you. One of the things that we feel very sincere about is really helping people to match what's right for them with the program that's right. And so we've actually not accepted everyone in this program because, and I say that because it wasn't the right timing for them. You know, somebody who says to me or to one of our team members, you know what, oh, I could do this, but it's going to take, you know, I can do this, but I'm going to use my rent money for this, and it would wipe me completely out. You know, as a responsible, as responsible, heart-caring people, I think that all of us would say on our team that that's not a right time for you. And I would also encourage people to use the process of intention, attention, no tension. So anything can happen. You know, don't let money be a factor in stopping you for really seeking what you want, because money can come from anywhere. And for those of you who haven't read the Passion Test book or know Janet's story of the woman dropping $100 bills on her head, I remember thinking and looking at that and go, I want to know, I want to be associated with that. I want to know how that happens. And it really starts with getting in touch with what it is that we love, what it is that we're good at, what it is that we're meant to do, what we are passionate about. Passion drives all of success. And success in how we believe to think in the world of having all the things and the stuff is not what true success is. I've done that. And it really is about what Marco talked about enjoying the freedom to create the life he wants to. I know that one of the most important things, including having fun, is also his family. And by allowing himself to create the life that he wants to, he's able to spend the time with his family that he gets to enjoy them. You know, he works from home. He gets to create his own schedule. He gets to be there for his wife and his son. And so those are some of the freedoms that come along with this. I can honestly say that in 2006 that I never thought my life would look like this today. But today I get to travel all over the world. I get to meet the most amazing people. Our facilitators are some of the most loving, heartfelt, connected, brilliant, passionate people who are looking to make a difference in the world. And I can't think of a better way for me to spend 4 days getting paid to go to places like Australia, all over the United States, Mexico City, to watch as people learn this process that allows lives to be changed all over the world. So whether you know how it's going to happen, that's not your job. Your job is not to know how. Your job is to know what. So if any part of this speaks to you, if any part of this says, you know what, I'm curious to know more. I'm curious to explore the opportunity. Like she said, there's no accident I'm on this call. There is no downside to applying and to saying, you know what, I want to know if this is right for me. So we all encourage you to that someone gave us the opportunity and invited us to join the Passion Test family, to join this learn this incredible process that fills us up, that allows us to create the life that we want to have. And so I just want to thank you for coming on this call tonight to learn more about this process, to learn more about what is possible for you. And if it's right, then just hit that button, apply now, and fill out that application. And somebody will be in touch with you in the next day or two to follow up with you and see if this is right for you. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, Marco, for participating and helping me share the amazing process of the Passion Test with all of these amazing people.
You're welcome. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you. Thanks, Marco. Thank you, Cece.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.